we live, man, our NFL talk, yeah. Now we live, man, our NFL talk. This is the show that you want. NFL raw and uncut, keeping it live. Gotta turn it up louder and get it ready for the man hour, yeah. Man, our NFL talk. Let's go. Let's go.
And now, Mike's thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, the opening weeks were just warm-ups. Week 1 gave us surprises. Week 2 gave us statement wins, heartbreak losses, and a taste of chaos only the NFL can deliver. But now, we hit the point where the season starts to define itself. Teams are either building momentum, clinging on to hope, or staring down the harsh reality of their season could slip away before October even arrives. This is the week where contenders step forward and separate themselves from the pack. Those 2-0 squads, this is their chance to prove they're just not had out the gate, but they're here to last. They're built to last. And for those teams sitting at 0-2, the pressure is suffocating. History tells you starting winless through the first 2 weeks puts yourself playoff dreams on life support. Week 3 just isn't another Sunday. It's survival. Think about it. Some quarterbacks are already under fire. Some coaches are already on the hot seat. And some defenses look elite while others still look in preseason mode. And every fan base is hanging on at every snap because momentum in September sets the stage for everything that happens in December and January. This is where we'll see stars rise, rookies tested, and legends remind us that they're still legends. We'll see rivalries reignite, locker rooms bond, and coaches gamble on fourth downs on 2-minute drills. Because in the NFL, the difference between hero and villain is one play, one throw, one mistake, one miracle. Every time a team has a storyline, every matchup has stakes, and every single game this weekend matters more than people realize. That's what makes week 3 so special in the NFL. It's the true gut check of the season. So let's turn it up. Let's bring that energy because this is NFL. This is week 3, and this is where champions start carving their paths. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw, steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport talk. Man Hour. Sport talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport talk. Man Hour. Sport talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, guys. Your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. I'm so glad you're rolling with us today. But before we jump into today's action, guys, head over to manhourradio.com. There's where you can find all the exclusive merchandise. Check out the Flash blogs and everything that's happening with the show. If you're rocking with the Man Hour, guys, that is the spot to rep it. Guys, make sure to hit the like button, hit the hype button, hit the share button as well, and subscribe to make sure you never miss a live, raw, uncut NFL show every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. But if you want the full experience, if you want free entry into our NFL pick'ems, if you want some free merchandise, if you want to talk shit, become a Pigskin Pundit. That is our members-only community where you get free entry into all of those things and you get the next level access. Guys, join the squad today. But this is a live, interactive show. Drop your thoughts. Drop your opinions and drop your hottest of the hottest takes in the comments down below because I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you just like we hearing from Old Man River right here. It says, Big Skin Pundits, baby, get you some.
Skin
Hun, get you some.
What is up, Old Man River? Old Man River's down there talking his shit today because his Raiders just got their asses whooped on Monday Night Football. So, guys, we're going to be talking about that today. We're going to talk about that day. We got DMVZO. Yo, DMV, checking in, bro. What is good, man? What is good? What is good? What is good? Welcome back. I'm glad you are back again. DMV checked in on us. Was it last week or was it Monday? I can't remember for sure. Everything's kind of running together. But welcome back, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We got my man Alpha Rob in the chat today as well. What is up, Alpha Rob? Guys, can we just give the Buffalo Bills the praise that they deserve right now? Can we give the Buffalo Bills the credit that his credit is due? Can we give the Buffalo Bills the Super Bowl trophy now because they're going 17-0 this regular season, and then they're going to be a one and done in the playoffs? So go ahead and give them the Super Bowl playoff or Super Bowl trophy now because it is what it is. We got RPG Productions in the chat. Says, remember me? Man, I remember everybody. Well, most everybody. But yes, I do remember you, brother. Hope you're having a good old day, man. Hey, tell Huffy I still hate him. But with that being said, the pick'ems. We did the Week 2 NFL pick'ems. And if your name is James Frank, the man, the myth, the legend, guys, James Frank, Mr. Cleveland Browns fan himself. This man got 12 games right on Sunday. So we do the week 12 of the 13 games right. Guys, give this man a round of applause because the next closest was me, and I had 9. And Old Man River, last place with 8. So we had 12. We had a handful of people with like 9 wins. I don't know, like 10 or 12 of them. And then Old Man River, boom, 8. Late. 8. And DMV says, oh, he was here for last week when the Green Bay game. So it was last Thursday, right? Because we didn't do a show on Friday because I was at a football game on Friday getting my ass whooped. But yeah, it was the Packers-Commanders game. So DMV, remind me, you are a Commanders fan, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you are a Commanders fan, we are going to be talking about Jayden Daniels today. We are going to be talking about Jayden Daniels, about how much that injury is going to plague him moving forward. But we got to start off at the top. And that is the red-hot Los Angeles Chargers. Red-hot Los Angeles Chargers, guys. Chargers, because through the first 2 weeks of the season, they have looked flat out great. Let's just be honest. This is Jim Harbaugh's second year at the helm, and you can already tell. You can already see the toughness, the grit, and the confidence oozing from this football team. Guys, this team is red freaking hot. Now, the Chargers, they did go on the road last night to Las Vegas, and they handled business against the Las Vegas Raiders. The game started out with a bang. First play from scrimmage, Geno Smith goes deep, and what happens? Interception, baby. The momentum immediately shifts to LA's favor. That's exactly what this defense has been about so far this season. Optimistic, aggressive, and ready to capitalize on mistakes. And now, what about Justin Herbert? Mr. Patrick Mahomes 2.0. Mr. Top 10 quarterback himself. Guys, this man is controlling the game right now. He lost a 60-yard bomb to Quentin Johnson in the second quarter that completely flipped the momentum once again. That connection is going to be deadly this season. Quentin Johnson learned how to catch the damn ball. You can see the feeling, the life getting sucked out of Allegiant Stadium when that ball hit Johnson in stride. Guys, this is the real story. The Chargers defense. That is the true story of the LA Chargers those first 2 weeks of the season. Geno Smith has been known as one of the best deep ball throwers since he became a starter in 2022. But against the Chargers, he went 0 for 11 on passes for 10-plus yards. That's the second worst deep ball performance since ESPN started tracking that every game back in 2006. Think about it. 20 years of data, and the Chargers forced him to one of the worst games ever trying to push the ball down the field. Many say Geno Smith is not him. But hey, slow it down, baby. Darwin James. This man had a game. He set the tone. Deontay Johnson come up with the huge pick. Tony Jefferson sealed it late. Guys, every time Geno Smith tried to force something, the Chargers were right there taking it away. Guys, Jim Harbaugh has changed everything in LA. From what I'm seeing from the Chargers, this team is disciplined. They're not beating themselves like they did in years past with Brandon Staley at the helm. And in years past, you always felt like LA had the talent, but always found ways to lose. Not this year. Harbaugh has them finishing drives, playing smart, situational football, and absolutely swarming on defense. Even when the Raiders' defense held strong in the second half, only allowing 3 points, it didn't matter, baby, because the Chargers' defense already slammed the door shut on the Raiders. That's what great teams do. They find ways to win, even when the offense isn't firing on all cylinders. Guys, 2 weeks into this NFL season, the Chargers look like one of the most balanced teams in football. Justin Herbert's making big throws. Johnson is emerging as a star, and the defense is proving that they can shut down some of the league's most aggressive pass rushers. Because flashback to Wednesday, Thursday last week. Geno Smith, Chip Kelly connection. Guys, we were high on it. I told you cold hard facts. So that was actually Wednesday. Cold hard facts. That this is the best connection they've had in a very, very long time, and the Chargers shut it down. If you are an LA Chargers fan, you have got to be excited. This looks like a team ready to challenge for the AFC crown right now, if not more. So, guys, here's the question for you guys down in the comments below. Are the Chargers officially the team to beat in the AFC West right now? Or is the Kansas City Chiefs division still until somebody takes it away from them? Those are the questions that I want to ask you guys down in the comments down below. Me personally, I think this is the Chargers division to lose. They are 2.5 games up in that division after 2 weeks of football. How is that possible, Buck? Because when you beat a team head-to-head, that gives you a game and a half. So actually, if you want to get technical, they're like 3 games ahead. But whatever, no, they're 2.5. They're 2.5. Don't get crazy, Buck. They're 2.5 games. So the Kansas City Chiefs have to win 3 more games than the LA Chargers this season to get that first overall seed. Guys, this is the Chargers division to win. Or to lose, actually, right? The Raiders, the Broncos, the Chiefs, they got a long ways to catch up, baby. A long way to catch up. Alpha Rob says, Allen Cook and Bosa get McDaniels fired Thursday. We'll talk about that game tomorrow. Keep on talking tomorrow, and we'll be back. Keep talking. We'll be back tomorrow. Jesus. Ay. RPG Projection says Patrick Mahomes 2.0. Herbert is way better than Patrick Mahomes. Now, RPG Productions, first of all, welcome back, man. Isn't it past your bedtime? No, but seriously, I hated when Justin Herbert came into the league and everybody's like, this is Patrick Mahomes 2.0. This is the better version of Patrick Mahomes, yada. And Justin Herbert has never lived up to those expectations. Because in our heads, when we speak on Patrick Mahomes, when people talk about Patrick Mahomes, we think 2018 Patrick Mahomes. We think 5,000 yards, Patrick Mahomes. We think 30-plus touchdowns, Patrick Mahomes. We think 300, 400-yard passing, Patrick Mahomes. That's not Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is that game-managing quarterback and then comes out and strikes you down in the fourth quarter. That's Patrick Mahomes. Justin Herbert will never live up to Patrick Mahomes. Justin Herbert is very, very good. Don't get it twisted. He is very, very good. However, sometimes you got to build your own legacy. Let's stop comparing Mahomes to anybody. Let's stop comparing Justin Herbert to anybody, right? Justin Herbert right now is arguably a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He is playing lights out. However, Patrick Mahomes is still him. And Old Man River says, oh, hell no. He does not think that the Chargers are top dogs in the AFC West. Old Man River says the Chargers are Fugazi. The word from last season, right? Get you guys at Fugazi shirts over at manhourradio.com. He says they Fugazi, baby. Whoa. Slow it down, baby. Why do you think they're not them, Old Man River? When you look at the LA Chargers, 2-0 in the division after 2 weeks, beating 2 divisional rivals, the Raiders pretty handily, beating the Kansas City Chiefs pretty handily. How are they not them? How are they not the best team in the AFC West right now? How is this not their division to lose? Me as a Chiefs fan, look, right here's my championships hats. You guys see the flags? You see the flags flying? How are the Chargers not them? DMV said Chargers division for now. The Chiefs are not the same anymore. What do you mean by that, DMV? Because me personally, I think the Chiefs are a dominant defensive team with a game-managing offense. That is what they've been for the last 3-4 years. Ever since Tyreek Hill left the Kansas City Chiefs back in 2019, 2020, whatever it was, that is who they are. A dominant defense with a game-managing offense. That's still who they are. Don't get it twisted. The Kansas City Chiefs are still a very, very good football team. The Kansas City Chiefs will be there in January, in December. The Kansas City Chiefs will find it later in the season. I still think they'll start 2-4 to start the season. But how are they not the same? Denver too, maybe. Denver is not a competitor in the AFC West. The Denver Broncos are priding themselves on being a dominant defense, and they struggled against the Tennessee Titans. The Denver Broncos are priding themselves on a dominant defense, and they got dominated by the Indianapolis Colts. Let's just be honest. Whether you want to call it a leverage penalty or not, they still got beat by the Indianapolis Colts. Yes, Daniel Jones is playing out of his mind. I get it. But also go back and watch the tape. Stats are lying to you. Daniel Jones is playing great. Daniel Jones is fitting the system perfectly, but he's not a top 10, 15 quarterback right now. Below middle of the pack. Stats will fool you. Denver Broncos are not them. Denver Broncos are not good. Alfred says, I don't know. KC is in trouble. The Giants are a tougher opponent for them because Kansas City can't score anymore. This is 100% a trap game. Well, we will be talking more about the Chiefs Giants game on Saturday when we do our NFL preview show. But I am telling you, yes, Alpha Rob, you are correct. Still have the Kansas City Chiefs probably winning this game. We're going to break it down on Saturday. We'll give you my game picks. But we'll talk about that. Mahomes looks slow. Mahomes has never looked fast by any stretch of the imagination. But yes, he does look just a tick overweight, right? Just a tick overweight. Just a little bit. Old Man River says a blind duck finds water every once in a while. And wow, plus Harbaugh is a blank. Old Man River. Old Man River. Old Man River. Old Man River. You cannot call Harbaugh. That's just rude. Because if I want to call him that, then that means you're a no. Stop sleeping on the Chargers. Stop sleeping on the LA Chargers. They got the confidence building. If they can stay healthy, Keenan Allen can keep doing his thing. Quentin Johnson still doesn't lose his hands. Justin Herbert stays upright. Whoever their running back by committee is, as long as Mac is not out for the rest of the season. Did he break his elbow or something? Like, what happened? That thing was gross. The Chargers are going to be a 12-win team. The Chargers are going to be in the lead in the AFC West until week 17 or week 18. That's just the way it is. They are that good. RPG Production says, Herbert hasn't lived up to expectations. Herbert's stats in 2025, 560 yards, 5 touchdowns, 127.8 QBR ranking. Mahomes, 445 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 82 ranking. You have to look beyond the stats. You have to look beyond this season. If you are just looking at the 2 weeks of the NFL season, you are telling me that arguably Josh Allen is going to win another MVP. Lamar Jackson just isn't him. Joe Burrow sucks. Tua sucks, right? Like you have to look beyond the stats, right? Justin Herbert hasn't lived up to expectations because what did they do in the playoffs? Isn't he 1-2 or 1-3 in the playoffs? Every time the Chargers get the spotlight shined on them, they start to crumble. Now, hopefully this year is different. Hopefully this year for Chargers fans, they can turn it on. But let's just be honest. Herbert has not lived up to expectations. Alpha Rob says Kansas City's losing their mystique week by week. They are. They're also down a lot of weapons. We're going to deep dive the Kansas City Chiefs on Saturday, so keep that energy, baby. Keep that energy because I got receipts. Old River says, well, if your aunt had nuts, she would be your uncle. Well, not technically. We do live in 2025, so. Nobody is sleeping on the Chargers. Everybody is snoozing on them Patriots, though. We'll talk about the Patriots next week or Saturday as well, but nobody's snoozing on the Patriots. Come on, man. You about lost to the Miami Dolphins. You about lost to the Miami Dolphins. And speaking of losing, that's what the Las Vegas Raiders did on Monday. Guys, let's talk about the Las Vegas Raiders because after 2 weeks of the football, there's one thing that is very, very clear. There's one thing that is reading through the man-hour studios right now. There's one thing that is on repeat week after week, year after year, time and time, every talk about the Las Vegas Raiders, and they are overrated. Everybody wanted to hype this team up after the first week. Everybody wanted to hype this team up during the offseason, but the truth is it's staring right at them in the face, Old Man River. This team is not a playoff contender. They're going to finish below 500 yet again this season. Guys, let's start what just happened on Monday Night Football versus the LA Chargers. The Raiders could get nothing going. Geno Smith was reckless with the football, going 24 for 43 for only 180 yards. That's just 4.1 yards per attempt. On top of that, 3 interceptions and a passer rating of 37. That's just not bad. That's season Jarrelling bad. That's put Aiden O'Connell in bad. That is trade for Mitchell Trubisky bad. That is, let's go get Trey Lance or Jimmy G back bad. One of the few chances the Raiders had to mount a comeback was when it was 3rd and 15 in the fourth quarter. Geno tries to force it into Jacoby Myers in a double coverage. Derwin James gets a hand on it. Deontay Johnson picks it off, and the game is over. That's your big-time quarterback play? That's your leader? That's your 2-year, $73 million quarterback? Come on. And let's talk about the defense. You know, that top 10 defense from last season. You know, that defense that owns the Kansas City Chiefs. I keep hearing how the Raiders defense is going to be better, how they're on the rise, how they're this, and this. Really? They let Justin Herbert hit Quentin Johnson for a 60-yard touchdown that completely blew the game wide open. They let Herbert control the pace, dictate the flow. They never flipped the momentum back. They never even got to Herbert till late in the fourth quarter. And then they finally did tighten up in the second half just a little bit. Holding the Chargers to just 3 points. It didn't matter because the offense was a total disaster. You can't win this league when you're only scoring 9 points at home, period. Then this team gets bullied in the trenches. The Raiders' offensive line gave up 16 pressures and 3 sacks. Their run game, non-existent. Aston Jinty, the rookie, the player, the change maker over there in Vegas, 11 carries, 43 yards. As a team, they just managed 68 rushing yards. You cannot protect your quarterback. You cannot run the ball. You cannot turn it over 3 times. That is a losing formula. The Raiders will never win a game playing a game like that ever in their lifetimes. And let's keep it real here, guys. The Raiders were 8-9 last season. They hadn't had a double win season since 2016. They keep changing quarterbacks, keep flipping coaches, and keep promising fans this is the year. Well, guess what? It's not. Not with Geno Smith throwing 3 interceptions in one game. Not with the offensive line giving up 3 sacks in one game. Not with the defense still struggling to make impact plays when it matters the most. Numbers don't lie. Since 2003, the Raiders have just had 2 winning seasons. 2! It's in over 20 years. This organization is definition of overrated hype every offseason and underwhelming results every fall. Guys, here's the truth. The Raiders are not sneaking into the playoffs. The Raiders are not winning the AFC West. The Raiders are not going to the AFC Championship game. The Raiders are not going to the Super Bowl. They're not even winning 9 or 10 games this season. They're heading into yet another losing season. And sooner the Raider Nation accepts that, the sooner they can start demanding real change in that building. But what do you guys think? Are the Raiders destined to be below another 500 year, or do you still believe that they can turn it around, Old Man River? Comment down below. Let's talk about it. Remember to guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time, and Saturdays for our NFL preview show at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Now this is live, raw, uncut. See what you guys are saying. RPG Production says I am an Aston Jinty doubter. I said that on Facebook last night. I said that, you know what? Maybe he just isn't him. Maybe he just isn't him. And I think it goes beyond the offensive line. It goes beyond Geno Smith. I just don't think he has it, right? Now, I'm not here to call him a bust yet. I'm not here to call him overrated yet. I'm not here to say the Raiders missed on another draft pick yet. But everything is starting to add up very, very quickly. Remember that game we had -3 yards in like the preseason? Oh, it's just preseason. 44 yards on 11 carries. That's tough. When you run swing passes, you can just get tackled for 3 or 4 yards lost. That is tough. But I'm with you, RPG Productions. Alpha Rob. Alpha Rob.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Says Raiders being the Raiders. What'd you expect from Geno? Honestly, after week 1, I was high on the Raiders. I was like, okay, I see you, Geno Smith. I see you. You're with your old coach. You're with Pete Carroll again. You're with Chip Kelly. He coached your cousins. You guys had that relationship. The Raiders looked decent week 1. Let's just be honest, guys. They looked decent week 1. I was starting to sip on that Kool-Aid a little bit, but guess what? It has poison in it. It has poison in it. Now we see why Geno Smith went from the Jets to the 49ers, then to the Seahawks. And he sat behind Russell Wilson for 3 or 4 years. Yes, he had 2 good seasons in Seattle. I'm not trying to take that away from him, but there's a reason why he's, 37 years old and still has fresh legs like old, Dan Orlowski said last night, right? I expected him not to be terrible, meaning Geno Smith. I expected him to be average, right? And right now we see extreme highs and extreme lows. That is the one thing bad about the NFL. You cannot have extreme highs. You cannot have extreme lows. You gotta keep it level, right? That's what I tell my high school kids. You guys have a great play, then you suck the very next play. That's why we suck right now. That's just the way it is. Make it even. Bada bing, bada boom, we can go a long, long ways. And Old Man River,
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
he just simply says, yep. Old Man River says, I am checking out with the Raiders this season. Old Man River says, I have filed for divorce from the Las Vegas Raiders, and I am becoming a Dallas Cowboys fan. That is what Old Man River just said. Guys, Old Man River is a Raiders fan and a Detroit Lions fan. He is breaking up with his heart. He loves the Las Vegas Raiders. He loves them. Hell, he's got a Stabler jersey from last season when I lost his bet. Or was it 2 seasons ago? I can't remember. He has that Stabler jersey. He's going to put it in the ground. He's going to put a gravestone in it. They're breaking up. He's becoming a Detroit Lion or a Dallas Cowboys fan. Luzo Zuno says he's a bust and the Raiders are my team. Are you talking about Aston Genty? Because if you're talking about... Now, Zuno, I understand how hard it is to probably to be a Raiders fan. I definitely understand probably me because like I'm a Kansas City Chiefs from back in the day, right? 13-3 first round exit to the old Indianapolis Colts. That is tough. But to call Geno Smith a bust, I think we overhyped week 1 a little bit, right? I think we overhyped week 1. We drank the Kool-Aid a little too fast. Just like the Green Bay Packers were like, hey, slow it down. It's just week 1. Just like the LA Chargers were like, slow it down. It's just week 1. Indianapolis Colts, slow it down. It's just week 1. But Geno, we're like, oh, jump on that train. Choo-choo, all aboard. I wanted Raider fans to be happy about something. I wanted Raider fans to actually do well. Give the Kansas City Chiefs a little competition. But is it just a bad performance? Is it just a bad week? Can Geno Smith jump back? I don't know. But the truth is, he's 36 years old. He's not a spring chicken anymore. That is tough. RPG Production says numbers don't lie. You just told me that earlier. You have to look beyond the stats. You look beyond the stats when it reflects of how terrible the Chiefs look, especially Mahomes. RPG Production, you are not going to troll me into trying to talk bad about my Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes has looked pretty damn good. The Chiefs as a whole has not looked great. But we'll talk about it on Saturday when they go into MetLife Stadium with the New York Giants. But we'll talk about that. Alpha Rob said Geno Smith is Jameis. That is tough. That is tough. I know my camera just froze, guys, so give me a second. I will fix it here momentarily. But it's Geno Smith being Jameis. That is just one guy like I just don't fully understand. Jameis Winston, like I don't understand. Like I just don't get it. Like I don't know. Like I just do not get it. Trying to fix the camera here, guys. I'm sorry. Looks like we're not going to have a camera for the rest of the night. Sorry about that, guys. But let me go ahead and get that out of there. Transition. Guess it's time for a new camera. The camera finally broke. I'm finally ugly enough that the camera broke. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. But at the end of the day, saying Geno is Jameis, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know. Old Member says, how high? Now you're high as eagle balls. Oh, I get it. I'm not high. James Frank says that the Raiders will be all right. Geno will be all right. James Frank said the Raiders will win the AFC West. I say, whoa, slow it down, baby. Now, James Frank, first of all, congratulations on your week 2 NFL pick'em victory, brother. Good job on that, by the way. 12 wins. Like, that is tough, baby. That is tough. But I don't want to drink the Raiders Kool-Aid yet again. I want to fully jump off the Las Vegas Raiders wagon, but you know what? I can't. Because we saw what Geno Smith could do. We saw that we saw what Geno Smith is capable of in week 1 and what he can do in Seattle. But damn, that is tough. That is tough. And Old Member does say Raiders Nation for life. See if the camera's still broken. Yep, camera's still broken. My bad, guys. But let me talk about this. Let me talk about this potential. Let me shut this camera off too. My bad. This potential breaking news. Drake May, Cincinnati bound for 2 first-round draft picks. Can anybody confirm that? Can anybody confirm that? Now, Philly Mike OG. Is this just speculation? Because I feel like Drake May to Cincinnati means that the New England Patriots are not sold on Drake May. And that is all we heard. That is all we heard all offseason. How much Mike Vrabel loves Drake May. How much Mike Vrabel loves Drake May. How much Drake May has done this, done that, done this. Philly OG, I feel like you're trolling me because I'm on ESPN right now. I don't see anything. I'm on my phone. Yes, my thing is broken. My camera's broken right now. I don't see nothing about it. The only news that has happened in the last hour, Isaiah Hodgins is with the practice squad on the Steelers today. And then next sign is Jalen Mills is back in Houston as the veteran defensive back, joined the Texans practice squad today. That's the only news that I have. Now, is this wishful thinking? I don't see why the Bengals would give up 2 first-round draft picks for Drake May. I just don't see it because Jake Browning obviously is a very serviceable quarterback. We saw it a couple years ago when he came in. Yes, when he is in, when Joe Burrow is out, the Bengals do score 20 less points a game. They do. They are 2 games below 500 as well. But the only thing I'm seeing on ESPN, NFL.com, on Twitter, I don't see nothing about it. Philly Mike says it just posted on X. All right, so I am on X. Let me search old Adam Schefter. Last day from Adam Schefter was an hour ago. Former Patriots linebacker Jawan Bentley, who spent 7 seasons with New England Patriots, is signing with the Steelers practice squad today, per source. That's the last thing tweeted by him an hour ago. Philly Mike OG, I think you are getting trolled, bud. I think you're getting trolled. Drake May officially Cincinnati Bengal. I feel like that would be breaking news. And I don't see it anywhere. I think you got trolled, brother. The Bengals are not giving up 2 first-round picks for Drake May. Yes, Joe Burrow is going to be out for 3 months, for 3 months minimum with toe surgery. Yes. We talked about this yesterday. The Bengals do have a pretty favorable schedule till November. Right? They play the Broncos, not very good. They play the Vikings, not very good because J.J. McCarthy's out. Yes, they do play the Lions. Yes, they do play the Packers. Yes, they do play the Steelers. All losable games, but they got the Jets and the Bears and the Patriots, right? Guys, Philly Mike OG is trolling you guys. Drake May did not go to Cincinnati for 2 first-round draft picks. The Cincinnati Bengals are not dumb enough to give 2 first-round draft picks for Drake May when they have Joe Burrow back next season. Giving away 2 first-round draft picks is saying, this is our guy moving forward, and we're moving on from Joe Burrow. They're not moving on from Joe Burrow. James Frank says, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing either, man. Fake news. We just got trolled. Philly Mike OG, you just got trolled, brother. You just got trolled. But let me guys ask you this question. Let's ask this question. The Los Angeles Chargers are off to the hot start in 2025. And the question is on everybody's mind is simple. How far can this team actually go? How far can they go? Jim Harbaugh's squad looks locked for the first 2 weeks. And I'm telling you guys right now, this team looks different. It feels different. Watching them feels different. They're disciplined, they're confident, and the toughness makes them one of the most dangerous AFC squads, period. Look at what they just did against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. First play of the game, interception, right? That's the tone they've been setting all season long. Optimistic defense, capitalizing on mistakes, and flipping momentum before the other team can even breathe. Justin Herbert continues to be the steady hand. 60-yard tutty to Quentin Johnson. That was the dagger. When your quarterback who can take the top off of defense like that, paired with a coach like Harbaugh who keeps them focused, you got a formula for something special. And the defense. Defense has been lights out. Yes, Khalil Mack might be out for a little while, but you know what? He's on an old age. He's old man river. He's over the hill. The Chargers held Geno Smith to 0 for 11 for 10 plus air yards passing. 0 completions. With the second most attempts without a completion ever since ESPN started tracking them back in 2006. The difference this year is coaching. Let's just be honest. The difference with the LA Chargers this season is coaching. In years past, they've always had talent, but they always found ways to lose. Blown leads, bad discipline, no finish. Under Harbaugh, that's all gone. They're protecting the ball. They're finishing drives. They're finding ways to win even when the offense slows down. But ask you guys this question. How far can they go? Legitimately, how far can the Los Angeles Chargers go in 2025? Because the AFC is stacked. Let's just be honest. They are stacked. You got the Buffalo Bills. You got the Chiefs. You got the Ravens. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers. You still got the Denver Broncos potentially. Maybe the Houston Texans. It is a stacked division from top to bottom. And an offense with Herbert, Johnson, and that line playing strong, a defense that shut down one of the league's most aggressive passers, and a coach who has been in the Super Bowl before. Guys, if you ask me, the Chargers are absolutely in the conversation to take the AFC West crown. They're absolutely in the conversation to make a deep playoff run. And yes, if they still healthy and they keep playing this way, they can make a Super Bowl run. You heard it here first, guys. I think the LA Chargers, playing the way they are, healthy, 100%, they can make a Super Bowl run. So here's the question for you guys. How far do you believe the Chargers can go this season? Are we talking AFC West champs, a playoff run, or can this team actually bring home the Lombardi Trophy to Los Angeles? Guys, comment down below your thoughts, your opinions, and your hottest of the hottest takes. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the hype button as we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Let's get into the comments. Alpha Rob says, divisional round. He says they might win a wild card game, but they're not going past that. And Alpha Rob, I might be drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit too much on the Los Angeles Chargers as well. I feel like I need to write a bylaw in the Man-Hour Bible and says, hey, don't trust the Chargers till December, right? We've done it with the Chicago Bears. We've done it with the Las Vegas Raiders. Maybe we should do it with the Chargers as well. But right now, they're looking good. But I can see your divisional round because in the divisional round, they will have to play either the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers potentially. And you know what? I'm not for sure they're ready to compete with those teams quite yet. John Setter's in the chat. What's up, John? John used to be a Big Skin pundit.
Big Skin Pun. Get you some.
He says, what's good, y'all? Long time no see. And John is saying AFC Championship game at the most for the Los Angeles Chargers. I could see them getting past the Ravens. I could see them getting past the Chiefs, past the Steelers. But getting past the Buffalo Bills, I feel like if the Buffalo Bills make the AFC Championship game this season, this is their year. Alpha Rob says the Steelers defense does not look good so far. I concur with that 100%. However, still cannot count out TJ Watt and them. Old member says lost in the wild card game to Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? Zuno says a playoff run. Zuno, when you talk about playoff run, is that winning a wild card game? Is that winning the divisional game? So let's define what a playoff run is. Is it just winning one game and advancing one round? Or is a playoff run 2 wins? I feel like, quote, a playoff run is you definitely have to win that divisional game. Make it past the divisional round. Then you're in a playoff run. And James says the Steelers ain't shit, Buck. Or Alpha Rob. Get out of here. Steelers suck. That's just your hatreds talking, James. That is just your hatreds talking. But then James Frank says Quentin Johnson finally found his hands. They got their veteran wide receiver back that Herbert trusts. Defense is nice. Chargers are going to be great this season. I think they can win a few playoff games. I don't know about making it the AFC Championship game, but they could definitely do some damage. And James, I agree with you wholeheartedly. You know how the Kansas City Chiefs fans did not want to see the Bengals last year in the playoffs? I think this is the Chargers this year. A team like the Ravens don't want to see the Chargers. A team like the Buffalo Bills probably don't want to see the Chargers early. They could see them late in the championship game, but they don't want to see them in the divisional round or the wild card round. I feel like if the Chargers get that one win, confidence is going to be sky high, and they're going to be rolling into that divisional game. And then if they win that divisional game, I don't think there's no stopping them, right? I feel like this team could definitely be on a mission. Be on a mission if they can get past a divisional round, meaning a Lombardi, meaning a Super Bowl berth. Not saying they're winning the Super Bowl, but I'm saying this team has every capability of making it to the Super Bowl. And then John says, whoa, Bucks, slow it down, baby. Says the Bills and the Ravens will be in the AFC Championship game. The Ravens will lose the first round of the playoffs. Whether it's the wild card game, whether it's if they somehow they get the number one overall seed, it's the divisional round. Either way, they're losing their first playoff game. Just like the Lions are, just like the Eagles are, just like whoever wins the AC South is. That's just the hatred talking at me. That's just the hatred. But guys, let's talk about this Tom Brady thing. Tom Brady and the Raiders, it's just a bad look for the NFL. Guys, to me, it doesn't matter if Tom Brady isn't technically breaking any NFL rules by wearing the headset in the Raiders coaching booth last night. The simple fact is that he's up there in the middle of Monday Night Football, makes the Raiders look bad, and honestly, it makes the rest of the NFL look bad as well. Guys, let me set the stage. The league announced that Tom Brady was a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, and a Fox broadcaster is allowed to be in the coach's booth. He can wear a headset. There's no policy that prevents that. NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy even come out and said there's no rules prohibiting an owner from sitting in the booth and putting on a headset. So technically, Tom Brady, the Las Vegas Raiders, are not breaking any rules. But that's not the point. It's about the optics. It's about the perception. It's about the fairness. Guys, think about this. Tom Brady is a part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, but he's also a broadcaster for Fox. As a broadcaster, he has access to coaches, players, and meetings that no other owner in the league gets. That's a massive conflict of interest. And then to top it off, he's sitting in the booth during a game with the headset on. How does that not make people wonder if he has a bigger role in game planning and decision making than the Raiders are admitting? And here's the kicker. This isn't a team that just lost. This is a team that just lost 29 to the LA Chargers. Geno Smith threw 3 interceptions. The offense couldn't throw the ball. And instead of talking about fixing their issues, all anyone is talking about Tom Brady is sitting upstairs with a headset on. That's a distraction. That's a bad look. And let's be real. The Raiders are 0-2. They scored just 9 points at home against a division rival. They gave up 3 interceptions, 3 sacks, and 16 pressures that only managed 68 rushing yards. This is a team that looks lost on the field. And right now, instead of focusing on fixing what's broken, they got to deal with the PR storm because of Brady's presence in the booth. And since 2003, the Raiders have just had 2 winning seasons. 2 over the last 20 years. This franchise can't afford to keep adding circus lights distractions on top of losing football. And it's just not the Raiders' issue. This is an NFL problem like as well. If fans start thinking certain owners or certain broadcasters have inside access, that chips away the credibility of the league because the whole script thing is out there. The whole shaving of the points thing is out there. The whole Vegas actually controlling the NFL is out there. Brady doesn't need to be in the booth with the headset to be an asset. He can talk to Pete Carroll, to Chip Kelly, to John Stipek all he wants during the week. But on game day, the optics are terrible. It doesn't matter if it's within the rules. The NFL has to care about how things look because that's what the NFL is all about. They're all about the perception, right? And right now, the perception is that the Raiders have Tom Brady involves other teams, owners, or broadcasters could never be. So, guys, here's the bottom line. The Raiders need to figure out their football issues and stop creating unnecessary distractions. And the NFL needs to get out ahead of this before the snowballs into something bigger. But what do you guys think? Is this a bad look for the Raiders in the league, or are people making it too big of a deal, like me, that being Tom Brady being in the booth? Guys, comment down below, and let's talk about it. Remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and remember we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time, right here for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. Guys, hit the like button so I can go buy a new camera, damn it. John says the Lions are not. Let's go. The Lions are not what, John? What are not the Lions? The Lions are not them. You are correct. Oh, member says Brady is not passing the ball. Anyone, leave him alone. He'd admit it was a fumble. Jesus. John, I thought you broke up with the Raiders. I thought you broke up with the Raiders. And James Frank, the shot of all shots right here. He says Eli Manning needs to become a minority owner of a team so he can take out Brady once again. Hey, rumor has it is that Peyton Manning wants to buy the Colts. So hey, maybe Peyton and Eli can go in on the Colts, and then the Colts can beat the Raiders in the first round year after year after year. That would be great. That would be fantastic. But guys, we're strolling into hour number 2, and it is time for a little thing we like to call Overreaction Tuesday. All right, guys, so Overreaction Tuesday is very, very simple. For those who have not joined this segment before, let me break it down for you. Here's the deal. I'm going to throw out a hot take, a bold statement, and intense reaction to something going on around the NFL world. It is up to us to decide if it's an overreaction or if we're actually spot on, baby. If we think it's an overreaction, we're going to call it out. We'll say, whoa, slow it down, baby. That's a little bit too much, Buck. It's about dialing it back. It's about seeing things with a little bit more perspective. But if we think it's actually legit, and we're all going to agree, we're going to roll with it, we're going to say, you know what? That's not a overreaction, and Buck, the reality is, and there's why. So, guys, we're going to throw out some big takes, and we're going to see if you're jumping the gun or if the hype is real. Let's get ready to dive in and see what we're going to be overreacting today. And, guys, welcome to Overreaction Tuesday. Every week, we take on the hottest storylines and ask the question, is it a fact or are we just a little bit overreacting? And today, it's all about the Washington Commanders and their young star quarterback, Jayden Daniels. Yes, guys, Jayden Daniels did hurt his knee against the Green Bay Packers on Thursday Night Football, but the MRI says no major damage. Dan Quinn has called him, quote, day-to-day, but here's the overreaction floating around. Guys, without Jayden Daniels, the Commanders season is finished. No Jayden Daniels, no more Washington Commanders winning football games, period. Guys, let's unpack this. Jayden Daniels tweaked his left knee when Micah Parsons chased him down and Jadeveon Clowney hit him, finished the hit. He left the game with the ice pack, was limping out the building, and immediately had everybody in Washington holding their breath. Now, the good news is this, quote, just a sprain. No ACL tear, no season-ending damage. He's already thrown for 433 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 games and rushed for another 85 this season. That dual threat ability is what makes him dangerous. And Quinn is saying he's just not pulling him back. He's just not putting him back out there until he's absolutely himself. But here's the bigger issue. This isn't just about Daniels. The Commanders are getting banged up across the board. They just lost Austin Eckler to a torn Achilles. Their defensive end, Wise, is done for the year with a quad injury. 2 more guys, Noah Brown and John Banks, are launch shots for Sunday's game with rowing issues. Jonathan Jones left with a hamstring. That's 5 key contributors without either out or in serious doubt. This team stayed healthy last season on their way to a 12-5 record in the NFC Championship game run. That's not happening this season. Health is already derailing him. It is only week 2 heading into week 3. Now, if Jayden Daniels can't go this Sunday, Marcus Mariota is the next man up. And to be fair, Mariota has stepped in before. Last year, he replaced Daniels twice when he went 33 for 41 for 336 yards and 4 tutties. That's solid production. But over a full season, Mariota is not winning you 10 more games. He's a stopgap guy at best, not a savior. So, guys, let's hit this straight. Overreaction Tuesday. Without Jayden Daniels, the Commander season is done. Is that an overreaction? Guys, and I'll be honest, I don't think it is. This is just not about Jayden Daniels. It's about the injuries that are piling up. The roster getting thinner and thinner week by week. And the reality is that the NFC East is brutal. You got the Dallas Cowboys, put some respect on their name. You got the Philadelphia Eagles and even the New York Football Giants, who are going to take shot after you. You cannot survive in that division losing your quarterback and your playmakers at the same time. So my take, Guys, if Jayden Daniels missed multiple games, the Commanders are cooked. They're not replicating the 12-5 magic from last season. But what do you guys think? Is Washington's season already slipping away? Or is this just an overreaction Tuesdays at its finest? Guys, comment down below. Let's get into it. And always subscribe, hit the like button, and join us Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. East Coast time for more live, raw, uncut NFL talk. James Frank says, Buck, it is a overreaction. He will be okay. They will be okay. And they go into the championship, baby. James Frank, that's an overreaction, brother. That's an overreaction. You need to slow it down, baby. Old Man River, pigskin, pond, get you some.
Pigskin pun, get you some.
He says, give the kid time. His number says he can play the position. He's better passer than a runner. Old Man River, don't get this twisted. I think Jayden Daniels is a fine quarterback. I would love to have Jayden Daniels on my team. Jayden Daniels is a very, very good quarterback. Do not get that twisted for 1 second. That's why I'm saying this is not an overreaction, because he is the Washington Commanders. When you look at the Washington Commanders with Marcus Mariota at the helm, or any other quarterback in the league, minus those handful of guys, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, those type of guys, they are a below average team. They're old, they're slow, and below average without Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels is that team. They are the reason that they went 12-5 last season. So don't act like this is throwing shade on him by any stretch of the imagination. Do not act like I'm trying to dog the man. Do not act like hey, right? Come on now. Zuno says no. He says this is not an overreaction. I agree with you. Well, River says he is the franchise. He is the franchise. But Alpha Rob drops his truth bomb here. Alpha Rob is dropping the proof. Says, don't forget they still got Von Miller, baby. Von Miller will win them 12 games this season single-handedly. Jayden Daniels is icing on the cake at this particular point, says Alpha Rob. Slow it down, baby. Now, guys, moving on to the next overreaction on this Overreaction Tuesday, where we take the biggest headlines from around the NFL. We ask the real question. Is it a fact, or is it simply just an overreaction? And today it's all about the Minnesota Vikings and their young quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. Guys, the number 10 overall pick back in 2024 has already had a star-crossed career. He missed his entire rookie season with a knee injury, and now, just 2 games into his second season, he's sidelined yet again, this time with the high ankle sprain that will keep him out 2 to 4 weeks. The overreaction out there, guys, the Viking season is finished without J.J. McCarthy at the helm. Here is what we know. McCarthy's injured his ankle late in the 3rd round of Sunday night's game, 22-6 loss to the Atlanta Falcons. He scrambled for 16 yards, got tackled from behind, and while he did finish the game, the soreness hit afterwards. The MRI confirmed a high ankle sprain. Head coach Kevin O'Connell says he didn't. Doesn't need short-term IR. They expect him back in just a few weeks, but the damage has already been done. This is the 2nd year in a row his development has been delayed. Through 2 starts this year, McCarthy has thrown for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, and taken 9 sacks. His QBR sits at 20.1. That's the 2nd lowest in the league. Insert Carson Wentz. He is now on his 6th team in 6 years. He wasn't even at training camp this season. The Vikings traded away Sam Howell and scrambled to sign Wentz late in August. O'Connell is taking up his command, his presence, his experience, but let's not kid ourselves. Wentz is not the answer for a playoff run in Minnesota. At best, he's a temporary Band-Aid. At worst, he keeps the offense stuck in neutral. And it's just not J.J. McCarthy, guys. Running back Aaron Jones is dealing with a hamstring issue as well. Center Ryan Kelly and left tackle Justin Skrook are in concussion protocol. Darsall is banged up. Van Ginkel and Jeff are also in concussion protocol. Harrison Smith is away with a personal health issue. That's basically half of your starting lineup dealing with injuries in the first 2 weeks of the season. Last year, the Minnesota Vikings stayed season and made a little bit of noise. Yes, I know they got 14 wins, but you know what? They were 1-9 like I told you they would be. This year, they look like one of the most beat-up rosters in all of football. And when your young star quarterback, the guy who you're supposed to be building around, can't stay on the field, that's the nightmare for the whole organization. So here it is. Overreaction Tuesday. The Viking season is over without J.J. McCarthy. Is this an overreaction? Guys, I don't think it is. This team was committed to development this year. Every snap mattered. Every rep was a part of building for the future. And now that's delayed yet again. Even if it comes in 3 or 4 weeks, that's valuable time lost. Add in all the other injuries, and it's hard to see the Vikings staying afloat. So my take. Minnesota Vikings guys are already in trouble. This season was supposed to be about J.J. McCarthy's growth and pushing the step forward, winning a playoff game. Instead, it feels already like a lost season. But what do you do now? Can Carson Wentz steady the ship for the Vikings, or the season already slipping away? Guys, comment down below. Let's get into it. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, then hit the hype button as well. Old member says, no, this is not an overreaction. This is not an overreaction because, simply put, J.J. McCarthy was never that good. J.J. McCarthy wasn't him. And honestly, if you want to think about this logically, right? There are some systems out there that people think quarterback systems are plug and play. San Francisco 49ers being one of those teams. You can plug anybody in there, any quarterback in San Francisco will succeed. Kevin O'Connell and the Minnesota Vikings is supposed to be this quarterback whisperer. Any quarterback that comes in there will be successful. Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, J.J. McCarthy, Carson Wentz. It doesn't matter who we got, we're going to be successful. The Vikings are in for a very, very rude awakening coming forward. But guys, overreaction number 3 for the day. Let's talk about Jadeveon Clowney. Because the Dallas Cowboys just signed the veteran pass rusher, and he's expected to make his debut this week in Week 3 versus the Chicago Bears. The overreaction that is out there, Jadeveon Clowney is the answer to fixing the Dallas Cowboys defense after Micah Parsons' trade. Guys, here's the deal. Jadeveon Clowney didn't go through training camp. He didn't play in the preseason, and he says he's ready to go. In fact, he reminded everybody that back in 2020, he signed with the Titans and played 47 snaps just 6 days later in Denver. He is 32 years old now, but he's still got that caliber edge. Cowboys brought him in after recording just 4 sacks in the first 2 games post Micah Parsons trades. That's not terrible, but it's not what the defense is supposed to be. They need another body. And Clowney was sitting there just waiting for the call. Now, let's just be clear. Jadeveon Clowney himself that he's not here to replace Micah Parsons. His exact words is, Micah Parsons is Micah Parsons. Jadeveon Clowney, I'm coming in to be me. And he's right. Clowney has never been the elite double-digit sack guy everyone thought he would become when he was drafted number 1 overall in 2014. But he's been a disruptive force. He's physical. He sets the edge. Last season in Carolina, he had 5.5 sacks and played tough against the run. For a Dallas front that already has Devontae Flower, Sam Williams, Keelan, James Houston, and adding Clowney just deepens the rotation. Brian Schottenheimer said it best. This guy is a good football player. He's here to affect the game, not to rush the passer. So, guys, here is the overreaction. Jadeveon Clowney is going to save the Cowboys defense. Is that a fact, or is it simply an overreaction? Guys, I'm saying it's an overreaction. Clowney helps. He makes them better in the short term. He'll probably play 30, 40 snaps against the Chicago Bears, give them some juice, help stop the run, but he's not Micah Parsons. He's not turning this into a pass rush. He is not turning this pass rush into the most feared league in the unit. He's a piece, not a centerpiece. What the Cowboys fans should be excited about is the depth that this move creates. Now you got multiple ways to attack, more guys to rotate in, and a veteran presence that still loves to grind. Clowney flat out said, it's the competitor in me. As long as I've got the competitive edge, I feel like I could go out there and do it. That's a mindset you want in the locker room. But this move doesn't erase the reality that you traded away one of the most dominant pass rushers in football. Dallas is still figuring out his identity without Micah Parsons. Clowney makes them tougher, but he doesn't make them elite overnight. So here's my take. Clowney will help, but he's not the savior. Dallas still has work to do. They still can make a Super Bowl, but not with the defensive side of the ball. But what do you guys think? Does Jadeveon Clowney make the needle move for the Dallas Cowboys, or is just a temporary patch for a long-term problem? Guys, comment down below. Alpha Rob says, this dude is overrated. How is he still lingering around in the league? I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, people love him. He's been on the Panthers. He's been on the Browns. He's been on the Seahawks. He's, I think he played for the 49ers. He's been around, right? And Old Man River says, Clowney can't stop the run. That's what Clowney can do. Old Man River, you are absolutely correct. That is what he can do. And if you look at it, look who the Dallas Cowboys play. Run-heavy teams. They play the New York Giants, a run-heavy team. They play the Philadelphia Eagles, a run-heavy team. They play the Denver Broncos, a run-heavy team. The Detroit Lions, a run-heavy team. If they can stop the run, make teams one-dimensional, they have a very good chance of winning a lot of games. Alfred says he's not even Von Miller at this point. Good grief. Alpha Rob, you are right. Nobody can be as great as Von Miller is at this age. Nobody can steal money like Von Miller has and consistently produce game after game, week after week, year after year. Von Miller is him. Old Member says Parson was a pass rusher. Clowney better against the Minnesota run. Cowboys gave up big numbers. Not wrong. Not wrong on that one. Guys, that's the wrong one. It is time for the final segment of today's show. As we start winding down the show, guys, we're not quite done quite yet. It is time for a little bit of fact and a little bit of crap. Here's the deal. I'm going to throw out a statement, some facts that are floating around the NFL world. And it's up to decide, is it a solid fact or is it just a whole lot of crap? We're going to separate the truth from the nonsense, cut through the hype, and see what's really worth believing. If it's legit, we're all about it. If it's pure garbage, we're calling it out. So grab your popcorn because it's about to get real because it's fact or it's a whole lot of crap. Let's find out, baby. All right, guys, so it is time for my favorite segment of the show. It is time for Fact or Crap. We take the hottest headlines, boldest takes, and the best storylines from around the NFL, and it's us to decide if it's straight facts or straight up nonsense. And tonight we're going to talk about the one and only Baker freaking Mayfield, because this man is putting himself in the conversation with some of the most clutch quarterbacks in the NFL. Guys, here's the situation. Fresh off a thrilling last-minute win in Atlanta, Baker Mayfield did it again. With the final 150 seconds left in the game, Buccaneers trailing, season hanging in the balance, he goes in full position mode. He leaves 11 play, 80-yard drive, converts on fourth down, somehow slipping away from what looks like a game-ending sack, scrambles for 15 yards, and then starts firing absolutely darts down the sideline. He gets Tampa Bay inside the 5, sets up the game-winning touchdown, and does it all within 6 seconds left on the clock. That's 2 straight weeks of game-winning drives. That's ice in your veins type of football. So here it is, guys. Fact or crap. Baker Mayfield is one of the most reliable quarterbacks in the NFL in high-pressure moments. Guys, look, I know it sounds crazy. But when you start comparing the tape, it's not far off. The article puts Baker Mayfield in the same sentence with Patrick Mahomes. Puts him in the same sentence of Josh Allen. Puts him in the same sentence of Lamar Jackson. Now, is he on their overall level? No, let's not get it twisted. Let's not get carried away. But when you look at it, late game execution. Baker Mayfield has been money since arriving in Tampa Bay. He's not afraid to take risks. He thrives in chaos, and he has enough confidence in his arms and his legs to make plays when everything breaks down. That's what you need in crunch time moments. That's what Baker Mayfield delivers. Now, the crap side of this is obvious. Baker Mayfield has had plenty of inconsistencies in his career. He's not an MVP level guy. He's not going to dominate every week. But if the ball is in his hands with the game on the line right now, you can trust him. And that's something I don't think any of us thought we'd be saying 3 years ago. Guys, I am saying fact. I am saying fact. Baker Mayfield is absolutely one of the most reliable quarterbacks in the NFL in clutch situations right now. He has earned that. 2 weeks in a row, he has proved it. And if you're a Buccaneers fan, you're starting to believe when the game is tight, Baker is going to deliver. But what do you guys think? Is Baker Mayfield really that Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen tier when it comes to clutch moments? Or just a hot streak that's bound to fizzle out? Guys, comment down below. Fact or crap? And Old Man Rivers is saying fact, baby. Old Man Rivers says Baker Mayfield is him. Baker Mayfield is the man, is the myth, is the legend. You want to win? Put Baker in, says Old Man River. Facts, baby. He also says that Baker is a beast. Pissed he's not a Raider. If anybody would fit the Raiders, what's the word I'm looking for? Brand, their identity, their F the world type situation is Baker freaking Mayfield. He would fit in Las Vegas so good. You are right. Alpha Rob says, and the Browns are crying with all their crap quarterbacks. Why did the Browns let Baker Mayfield go? I mean, obviously hindsight's 2020. We don't know how Baker would have thrived in Cleveland if Baker, after Baker and not Baker, but after OBJ and who else was there? Amari Cooper all left. We don't know how he would thrive there. Obviously, Tampa Bay is a great situation. You have arguably a Hall of Fame wide receiver in Mike Evans. You have an all-pro wide receiver in Chris Godwin. Yes, he was out on Monday night, but you still have him. You have that rookie that's lighting everybody up. You have Bucky Irving, sleeping on that man. That man's a freaking beast in the backfield. And you got a defense that's is quietly a top 10 defense. Let's just be honest. They're damn good. Baker Mayfield's in a perfect opportunity, perfect situation right now. 100%. He's clutch like Kenny Stabler like. I wouldn't know. I never saw the man play, but I'll take your word for it. You've never steered me wrong before. But guys, next up here on the Factor Crap, we're talking about the boldest headlines from around the NFL. It's up to decide if it's a legit or if it's straight nonsense. And tonight we're talking about the Houston Texans. Because after 2 weeks, their coaching staff is under fire. After 2 weeks, the coaching staff, I don't know what to do with my hands. After 2 weeks, the Houston Texans looked exactly like I told you guys that they would look. But here's the situation. Head coach DeMeco Ryans and his staff made changes this offseason. They moved from offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick, brought in Nick Chanley, made some personnel tweaks with expectation that things would improve. But here we are. It actually looks worse. Against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Texans were doubled up rushing yards. They completely abandoned the running game. Even when it was clearly leaning on the pass, wasn't working. Shaley's play calling, questionable at best. Throwing on 3rd and 4th and goals in the fourth quarter, relying too much on the pass in the middle of the game, leaving C.J. Stroud exposed behind an inconsistent offensive line. That's not good football. So, guys, here it is. Here it is. Factor crap. The Texans coaching staff is holding the Houston Texans back right now. Guys, let's be real. It's a fact. Through 2 weeks, they've looked lost. TJ Stroud is uncomfortable. His accuracy hasn't been sharp, and a part of that is because he's behind. He's been put in bad spots. You don't set your young quarterback up for success by predictable with no passing game, giving up on the wrong end entirely. And defensively, it wasn't much better. With 9 seconds left, the Tampa Bay on their 2-yard line, everybody knew the Bucs were going to run it. You got a timeout in your pocket, but Houston didn't stack the line. Result, White walks into the easiest touchdown of the game. That's on coaching. That's on preparation. That's on situational awareness. And that's the Texans flat out failing. Now, if you're on the crap side of things, I get it. Look, it's early. It's 2 games. DeMeco Ryan is still one of the better young head coaches in football. Nick is still settling into his role. We don't want to act like the season's already doomed, but right now the tape says the coaching is the problem and then personnel is the problem as well. Guys, I'm calling this a fact. The Texans coaching staff has to own this. They need to look in the mirror because right now they're the ones holding this team back. Right now, they're the reason that the Houston Texans are going to miss the playoffs. Right now, they're the reason why the Houston Texans are going to be a 7-win team this season. But what do you guys think? Is the Houston Texans staff already blown what should have been another step forward? Or is this an early season rust and it'll iron itself out? Guys, comment down below with the fact or crap. Let's debate it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and join us live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Old Man River says, no line, no points. No line, no points. You know what? At some point, you have to realize that your offensive line isn't very good. The offensive line for the Houston Texans haven't been good the last 2 seasons. Something's got to change. Alpha Rob said it's time to call C.J. Stroud a shrub. He hasn't played well since his rookie season. And Alpha Rob, you are 100% correct. 100% correct. Because if you think about it, last season, the Houston Texans wouldn't have made the playoffs if Anthony Richardson did not check himself out because he was too tired. Hell, the season before that, C.J. Stroud's rookie year, they wouldn't have made the playoffs if the Indianapolis Colts running back would have caught the damn ball. It's probably going to come down to week 17, week 18 again. The Indianapolis Colts shooting themselves in the foot yet again. And the Houston Texans are going to somehow find themselves in the playoffs for the 3rd straight season, yada, yada, whatever, right? But yeah, C.J. Stroud has not been a top 10 quarterback ever in his career. He had a great rookie season. The ball bounced away a lot. And luckily, now it's simply not. Old Man River says C.J. Stroud is consistently running for his life. Not wrong. 100% correct. 100% correct. But guys, that is going to be it for today's show. Thank you guys for tuning us. Live, raw, uncut NFL talk, guys. I'm going to try to fix the camera tomorrow. We'll be back online tomorrow. Until then, guys, we out.
Hey, now it's time to take off. Gotta keep it live and raw. Better stay tuned in. Man, our NFL talk. I know that you're ready for more. They on the field, ready for war. Who's in the lead? I'm checking the score. We about to do it like never before. NFL live, uncut, raw. This is Man Hour NFL Talk. Let's go.